3, 2, 1.
Thank you, folks, for joining us this evening. I am J. Francis Springs. Today is the best day of my life, and it got better when I knew that you were there. It is an honor for me to be here this evening with a handsome gentleman that's going to be starting a program called the Chaplain's Corner. And we're going to be broadcasting it live here on Phoenix Media Entertainment Group. So let's welcome to Phoenix, Brother Winston Paul. Winston, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Brother Jay. Thank you for having me. It's an honor and privilege to be here in your presence.
My pleasure, man.
Yes, sir.
So what is the Chaplain's Corner going to be on?
Well, the Chaplain Podcast, I think it's time to have a discussion. What is the purpose of the church now? What is its role? What is its function in our community at this time? I think at this time, it's more prevalent than ever that we need to have community. We need relevance in our community. But I do question the what we'll call the institutionalized church what we have right now.
Right.
I don't know, I would like to even ask the question. I think parishioners as well as the pastor should be asking, well, what is our purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is our mission? Are we still on this thing of, I don't know, we've changed so much throughout the years and how we defined ourselves, whether it's been just, getting to heaven, prosperity ministry. But I go back to where I think the original church came, what was going on in the church, coming out from slavery. We were the institution that were building schools, we were building hospitals, we were building community, we were giving to community, we were building businesses and so forth. Right now, it seems that we just become a worship center.
Mm-hmm.
So I question that, and I question our role at this time. I've been in the ministry, I would say the gospel ministry now for 30 years. I sat here, I was a student under the late Reverend Dr. Calvin Alexander.
Okay.
I finished seminary at the great ITC, Morehouse School of Religion. I served as a Navy chaplain for 10 years. I pastored in South Carolina for 7 years. So I've been doing this thing for a while. And I've always challenged myself and those who I've served to what is our purpose? What does that do? Because, prayer meeting, Bible study and all that, I mean, the perpetuation of these things over and over. Well, where's that growth at? I don't really see that now. I'm not trying to be down on anyone. People are genuine about where they are with their religion and so forth, but I question where our role is and our purpose at this time, and are we fulfilling that within our communities? I think it's more to it than just the praise and worship. I mean, I can praise God at home.
Yeah.
I don't need the church for that. If I'm looking at the church, I'm really looking for direction and what's going on in our community and in our world. So I mean, it's a lot that I would like to break out in question. Because one thing what we fail to do within our churches, I think we fail to align academia with church.
Right.
Our scholars and so forth, our historians. Because I always tell people this: the Bible is a historical book, but it's not a history book.
Okay.
It's a difference in history. In historical, it's historical. It's an ancient book. It's books from all different parts of world and society in that era. But it's not a history book. And we look at the Bible and some of us as a history book, and we don't even know the destination of time and everything. When you look at the old Bible, I think it was like it was like it's only been around 6,000 years. Well, we're much older people than
Yes,
6,000
sir.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get down to it, that there is a people who only been around about 6,500 years.
Mm-hmm.
We'll deal with that later. That's another conversation and everything. But we've been around millions of years. So if you're not dealing with timelines, you misconstruing and what the Bible is. It's a prophetical book, really.
Yeah.
From Genesis to Revelations. But we preach it as though it is something that has taken place. It's very little. In fact, if you really become a student of it, it's very little of it that's history, just history. But it's historical, being that where it came from and where it intended to be, be used at. And so I don't want to seem critical the Bible itself. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly.
You know, that's not what we're trying to do.
Correct.
But we want a greater understanding. We want to be more defined in how we look at this book and our purpose as quote unquote Christians. I myself am not caught into a religious group. My God is universal and everything. I fellowship with Muslims, and as well as I as a chaplain, I served as a chaplain in the military. You would set up, you would have the group that you were endorsed by. I mean, I was endorsed by the National Baptist. But I had to serve Wiccans.
Everybody.
It didn't matter what if you were Wiccan, whether you're Buddhist, whether it's Jews. I've done last rites for Catholics and so forth. So I enjoyed that. You know, and everything. My God is too big to put in a box.
Yes, he is.
You know, so I'm not. If you just Christian, if you just Baptist, I give you that. But my God is bigger than that. And I think we have to. We really just have to look and talk more about what the purpose is of the church, and not trying to the indoctrination of the church. Matter of fact, I lean back to we quote a lot of scripture, but we don't define scripture. But in Revelation 12:9 says Satan has deceived the whole world. I just want somebody to just think of it.
Yeah. That's a deep subject.
That's a deep subject. Satan has deceived the whole world. Now we're not just. Now he's saying to deceive the church. And if anybody have you in the world, you can see that's what the church as well. But it's the whole world. So we got to think on those things. I think about the teachings of Jesus. We're so much in worship of Jesus, but we don't want to become Jesus. Was Jesus died across the road, all the world goes free? No, it says there's a cross for everyone. So there's one for me and everything. So there's things that Jesus said, greater things that I do, so you should do also. So Jesus did some great things.
Yes, he did.
Now, I mean,
And
still great things, doing some great things. But he's doing it through people. He's doing it through man. He's doing it through humanity. You know? So we got to look at how we look at it. I think we live in a state of fear sometimes that we don't exuberate the best of who we are. You know? We still bound up on doctrines and not free to be and just be who we're supposed to be and everything. So that you have to, to do that, to have that certain freedom, you have to be able to think outside the box, and you can't let people box you into what they think of how you should be and this, that, and other. So there's a lot to unpack in this, but what I would like to do in the process of having the Chaplain Podcast and moving, I would like to have different groups just to talk about and challenge and thought about where our doctrines are, how we're using these doctrines. Or should we have those doctrines?
If someone wanted to be a guest on your program, is there a way to contact you?
Yes, we hadn't set it up yet, but we set up the website and so forth, and my number will be attached. We have website, the email, and all that profile for people to contact. Make contacts and make comments. And the numbers to call. Hopefully, it won't be personalized, but hopefully we have a line where people can call and ask questions as we go forward. So this is just to put out just part of the conversation what we want to be talking about. There's a lot. There's so much information out here now. Nobody should just be ignorant to things. But I think you need to have a premise and a basis from where you start from. I mean, there's a lot of junk out there also. So I mean, it's like using the new system, not the AI, artificial intelligence. Well, I mean, nothing can be more intelligent than man and everything. So artificial, I mean, intelligent. It's a great thing that's coming out. It's nothing for people to be fear of, but you need to know how to use it and everything. You got to have a basis on which a premise on which you start from. I mean, so you just going out and just pulling information, and you don't have a background in that, you can be misled. But if you got a premise and a basis from what you're coming from, then you can filter out some of the nonsense.
Let me go ahead to one of the things you said about the Bible. Where does the Bible play a role today with the age groups? Now, I was a drug child. I was drug the child Drug to church 7 days a week.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
You do.
Yeah.
And as a child, I was taught, read the Bible. You got the 23rd Psalm. You got this book you need to read. And in reading, I found that there were historical leaders that set the tone for the way lifestyle should be. So today, where does the Bible fit into our lifestyles?
Well, the Bible is full of wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Amen. And I stand on the principles of the Bible.
Come on.
And everything. I don't go by the you can have your doctrine, but give me the principles. Jesus said on these two things. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. He said on these two things, I hang all the doctrine.
Yes.
Everything. So if you want to have a doctrine, just do that.
Yeah.
You can we just stop arguing about whether you sprinkle a baby or a different baby. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that kind of stuff. That's not what my conversation is. It's based on principles of the Bible. So we got to understand that, and you can always live on the principles about and be good. we still confounded about a lot of doctrines, but the principles are always, you can't get around, but doing other shit you have. The principles are the same. I don't care in whatever religion you practice.
Yeah.
The principles
are
the same. So why get caught up in whether you Jew or this or Buddhist or Muslim or anything? My best friends and my most knowledgeable friends are Nation of Islam. I love my brother.
Yes.
And everything. And if you want to learn something, I would advise you to listen to the Minister Louis Farrakhan.
In fact, I'd advise you to read the Quran.
Yeah, a beautiful book.
Yeah.
It reads like poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. If you just take the time to read it. But we throw scriptures out there, study to show that stuff to prove, and all we doing is looking at Christian content. But we don't. My pastor, when he writes me, he said, Winston, he said, read everything you get your hands on.
Yeah.
He said, but read it against the text.
Okay.
And everything. And that's all. I've always done that. I've always read things you say. It ain't always been something just based on Christianity. It could have been based on saying, but if it's truth there, it's truth there.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at things with the Bible. Some people, the Bible was misused on us for, the indoctrination of slavery.
Right.
We still hold to some of those things and everything. We have to question something. We have not been critical thinkers.
Okay.
That's not bad. See, because when we grew up now, you couldn't ask a question.
No.
What you was told is what you know. What it was said, that's what you believe, and that's what you was taught.
In fact, you had to leave the room.
So you wasn't able to ask. Well, you couldn't even ask your question. Well, you asked. I used to ask questions when I was a little boy. I asked about color in the Bible and this, that, and the other. I asked, about different things about Jesus and everything. And they'll tell you quite quickly. If it's whether they knew or didn't know that, they just said what I said.
Okay.
And you went by whatever they said.
Yeah.
And you couldn't question that, but so far. And everything. Other back in my day, they may just pop you in the mouth once you laugh them on, something like that. You didn't ask too many questions. So and we have grown up with that same constraint.
Yeah.
We're still not asking questions. On the simplest things, we don't ask, look, the simple question, if Jesus said, God, you do greater things than I do, you should do, man, that's powerful.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't see much going on with that. But then you got to also ask the question, we look at he raised the dead, open the blind eyes, and they have those who speak with dumb, and those who couldn't hear open up deaf ears, but that was what, So are you taking that as what you call that? Are you taking that as the
letter of the law.
The letter of the law, or was he speaking in a way that and how you bring picking up the lame man at the pool of Bethesda.
Right.
And how
There's
laying there, for years. People have been passing all these years.
Yeah.
But it was something he spoke to him and said to him that lifted him, and his legs start moving again and everything. And he started walking. He said, I think it is. He leaped up and then went and start going in the synagogue of the temple. You
Yeah.
know, after he cleaned, because it was something that was said to him that moved him to action.
Okay.
And I don't think we move to action. People go to church and join church and to be confident and sit and wait on their day to come, you know, and everything, and looking for a hereafter. You know, I don't look. That's not my belief set.
Okay.
You know, the hereafter is after this world that we see right now, which is already going down in a spiraling effect and decline. This world is going down. But we used to sing a song back in the day. You know, Satan, we're going to tear your kingdom down.
Yeah.
But we don't stop tearing down the kingdom. We don't stop become part of the kingdom.
And stop singing the
And
song.
stop singing the song too.
Yeah.
So we got to we got to start economically and physically doing what we need to do to work of the church. It ain't about building another building or a fellowship hall now. If that's where your shine gonna be at as a pastor now, you off key. If you're not actually building community and building some economic ventures around you, and what we need right now in school, we're the most miseducated people that there is. We really need to be collaborating on building schools and businesses within. We need that's the things that we need to be doing in our community,
Right.
bringing economics to our community. And everything. Everybody else, we look at every other group of people. We've been talking about this for years, you know. Every other group who come in our community, set up stores and well, where are our stores at?
Yes.
Where our grocery
Yes.
stores at?
Yes.
Where are our banks at?
Where's our Wall Street?
Where's our Wall Street? You know, we have done it before, so and everything, and they act like we hadn't done it before.
Mm-hmm.
But we have done this before. We have built before, coming out of slavery. We built cities and businesses and institutions and communities and houses and homes. You know, they had, matter of fact, the Black Wall Street, it said that they was coming borrowing from us.
Okay.
You know, so the history is there, and you know, people, you know, when we talk about history, we're not just talking about Black history before slavery. We really talking about world history. When you talk about Black men, you talking about world history.
Yeah.
You ain't just talking about what we just created here. I mean, we gave to the world. If you know history, we gave to the world what they had.
Absolutely.
And everything, and we've been put to sleep.
We made America.
Say more.
Come on.
So
this is the Chaplain's Corner, or the Chaplain's Podcast.
Podcast.
Okay.
And so these are
Podcast.
things we want to talk about. I want to challenge the pastors that are out there. You know, at this point in time, if you just by yourself now in your isolated self and just doing something, working out of your church, you're not collaborating with other pastors right now, I think there's a problem.
Yes.
You know, because right now we need to be building right now and collaborating with each other. How can we, I mean, first of all, if they're going to do away with the Department of Education as they look like they may be doing, hell, they wasn't teaching us anyway.
Exactly.
You know, so they've been miseducation anyway. And I got a problem with no hard feelings to anyone, but anybody who's in education, you hadn't read the miseducation of the Negro, then that's a problem.
Yeah,
See, you got that. I mean, so and what they have done throughout history, they have always talked against and pushed us back from our academics and everything. We hadn't invited them and embraced them in the church. It's like that was too much for the pastor to handle against what he teaching and preaching. So we leave the academics out.
Okay.
But we get with the hooplas and so forth and feel good stuff.
Okay.
You know, it's time to take the pacifier out the mouth now and give some real meat.
We're about out of time now. This is your program, but
Yes,
we're
sir.
about out of time. So next week, are you going to have a guest that we can have this same conversation with?
Well, I don't know if I have a guest next week, but we have a better outline of points about where we want to go at and things that we want to bring out in the near future and bringing people in, and so forth.
Just a quick overview. What are some of the other topics you're going to be dealing with? Because we dealt with a lot just here.
Wow. I mean, anything that I just said can be broke down.
Yes, sir.
In a number of different ways.
Whole program by itself.
Yeah. I just painted a broad brush
Okay.
about things that need to be talked about. But we got to get back. I mean, right now, we need to go back and study some of our historians. Dr. Francis Wellesley, Dr. John Henry Clark. a number of people. I mean, I just and everything that Carter G. Wilson. I mean, these guys got Dr. Claude Anderson. He had an economic plan out 30 years. This man is 80-something years old now.
Yeah.
And we still just getting to the point that he's being recognized for what he's been doing around the world for decades now. But we're not studying these people. We quote like history. We quote our icons and everything, but we hadn't studied.
Right.
We had studied. We had Martin. All we know is Martin had a dream. We still hadn't studied it.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
so I mean, there's points of where we got to go and study these, because the plans are already there. The blueprints are out there. It's not like we got to start from scratch. We got blueprints out there, but we just need to use them. We need to start an education. Each one, we got to go each one help one. This is not about me, my eye. This is about us.
Yes.
You know, and we just got to get that point. I'm at the point I'm excited about what needs to be done. At the same time, I'm frustrated because it's been too long right now, and we got to start. We just got to start just speaking on things and helping people.
It begins with you.
It begins with me, and I'm gonna try to do my part and point people in the right direction. I don't have all the answers, but I can point you in the direction that because you may not believe the way I believe, so that's fine with me. But there are things that we can do together to work together and build together to elevate our people at this point in time right here and now.
This is the Chaplain's Podcast. Host Winston Falk. You're going to hear him every week, folks, so we want you to make sure that you're tuned in to Phoenix Media Entertainment Group and hear this heavy brother as he shares information about the Word. So give us a closing comment, brother.
Brother, thank you once again. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this opportunity to be able to come to your studio and be able to just speak in the air. But my thing is really just to challenge. I want to challenge the minds of the people to think critically and not just go about what you've been told. And if you're going to study to show yourself approved, then you got to study more than just the text itself. You got to do more than just open that Bible. There's other books to be read that would give you more clarity on what the Bible is saying. And that history is one of those things. Everything. So when they say when you know history, you defy the mystery.
Exactly. The Chaplain's Corner, not the Chaplain's Corner, the Chaplain's Podcast. Winston, give us contact information once again, which you'll have for the listener and the viewers next week. Am I correct?
Okay. Yes. My contact information is Winston. Winston at AOL, WinstonPark@AOL.com, the old email. My phone number is 843-327-7599, and everything. So if you do, please leave a message. You know, there's a lot of spam calls come through, so I don't always answer calls. But feel free to leave a message, and I will follow up with you because I want to talk to you. I want to be in your ear. I want you to talk back with me. Thank you.
You heard it right here on Phoenix.